You want to know what separates the good from the great? It's not talent. It's not luck. It's not even hard work, though that's part of it. It's belief. Relentless, unshakable, borderline crazy belief in yourself. The kind that doesn't bend when the world tells you no. The kind that doesn't flinch when you fail and you will fail. The kind that keeps you standing when every muscle screams to quit. That's what I'm here to talk about today. Self-belief isn't a gift you're born with. It's a muscle you build, a fire you feed, a choice you make every single day. And if you want to be great, not just good, not just okay, but great, you've got to master it. Let's start with the obvious. The world doesn't believe in you. Not at first. Maybe not ever. People will doubt you. They'll question your dreams, your plans, your worth. They'll look at you and see limits. Limits you don't even see yet. And that's fine. That's their problem, not yours. The mistake is letting their doubt creep into your head. The second you start listening to the noise, the critics, the skeptics, the ones who say it can't be done, you're already losing. Greatness doesn't come from consensus. It comes from defiance. You've got to look at the world and say, I don't care what you think. I know who I am. I know what I'm capable of. That's where it begins. Self-belief starts with a decision. You decide you're not average. You decide you're not here to blend in. You decide you're going to push past what's comfortable, past what's safe, past what's even reasonable, because average doesn't cut it for you. That decision isn't easy. It's not a one-time thing either. You've got to make it again and again. Every morning, every night, every time something goes wrong. It's a commitment to yourself, a promise that you're not going to settle. And once you make that promise, you don't break it. Ever. Now let's talk about failure, because if you're chasing something big, failure's coming for you. It's not a maybe, it's a guarantee. You're going to mess up, you're going to fall short, you're going to feel like you're not enough. That's the test. That's where self-belief gets real. Anybody can believe in themselves when things are going good, when the shots are falling, when the wins are piling up, when the crowd's cheering. That's easy. The hard part is believing when it's dark, when you're tired, when you've got nothing left, and the scoreboard says you lost. That's when you find out what you're made of. You don't get to pick the moments that define you. They pick you, and they're usually the ugly ones. So how do you keep believing when it all goes wrong? You focus on what you can control. You can't control the outcome every time. You can't control what other people do or say, but you can control your effort. You can control your preparation. You can control how you respond. That's your power. When things fall apart, you don't sit there feeling sorry for yourself. You don't make excuses. You get up, you figure out what went wrong, and you go back to work. Every failure is a lesson if you let it be. Every setback's a chance to get better. But you gotta believe you can learn. You can grow. You can come back stronger. If you don't, you're done. Let me tell you something about doubt. It's a thief. It sneaks in quiet, disguised as logic or reason, and it steals your drive. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this isn't for me. Maybe I should give up. That's doubt talking, and it's a liar. The truth is, you don't know what you're capable of until you push past that voice. Doubt wants you to stop before you even start. It wants you to play small, but you're not small. You're not built for that. You've got to train yourself to shut it down. Replace it with something stronger. Tell yourself, I'm not done yet. Say it out loud if you have to. Say it until you feel it, because the only limit that matters is the one you accept. And you don't have to accept any of them. People ask me all the time how you build that kind of belief. It's not magic, it's work. You build it brick by brick. You start with small wins, things you know you can do. You master those, and then you stretch a little further. You don't jump straight to the top of the mountain. You climb it one step at a time. But here's the key. You don't wait for permission. You don't wait for someone to tell you it's okay to believe in yourself. You don't need a pat on the back or a gold star. You give that to yourself. You decide you're worth betting on. And then you prove it. Not to anybody else, but to you. There's this idea out there that believing in yourself is arrogant. that it's selfish. That's nonsense. Self-belief isn't about thinking you're better than everyone else. It's about knowing you're enough. It's about trusting that you've got what it takes to figure things out, to keep going, to make something happen. It's not loud or flashy. It's quiet. It's steady. It's the voice in your head that says, I can do this, even when everything's falling apart. And when you've got that, you don't need to prove anything to anybody. You just do what you do. Here's another thing, self-belief isn't blind. It's not about ignoring reality or pretending you're invincible. It's about seeing the obstacles, seeing them clear as day, and deciding you're going to find a way through anyway. There's a difference between delusion and determination. Delusion says, this is easy. I've got it all figured out. Determination says, this is hard, but I'm harder. You've got to know what you're up against. Study it, respect it, then go after it with everything you've got. That's how you turn belief into results. Let's talk about time for a second. Time's the one thing you can't get back. Every day you waste doubting yourself is a day you don't get to chase what matters. You don't get to build what you're capable of building. You don't get to become who you're meant to be. So why waste it? Why spend one more minute wondering if you're good enough when you could be out there proving it? Time's your currency. Spend it on belief, not on hesitation. Spend it on action, not on fear. The clock's ticking. What are you going to do with it? You've got to understand something. Nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you greatness on a platter. You want it, you go get it. And the only way you do that is by believing you can. Not hoping, not wishing, believing. There's a fire in you. Maybe it's burning bright right now. Maybe it's just a spark. Either way, it's there. Feed it, protect it. Don't let anybody put it out, because that fire's what's going to carry you when the road gets rough, and it will get rough. I've seen people with all the talent in the world fall short because they didn't believe. And I've seen people with half the skill go twice as far because they did. That's the difference. Talent gets you in the door. Belief keeps you in the room. It's the edge nobody can take away from you. It's the weapon you sharpen every day. And the best part, it's yours. Nobody can give it to you, and nobody can take it away. It's all on you. So where do you start? Right now, right here. You don't need a perfect plan. You don't need all the answers. You just need to decide you're not stopping. Pick one thing, one goal, one dream, one step, and believe you can do it. Then do it. Doesn't matter if it's small. Doesn't matter if it's messy. Just start. Every time you follow through, you build that muscle a little more. Every time you push past the doubt, you get a little stronger. It adds up. Before you know it, you're not just believing, you're doing. You're becoming. Let me leave you with this. The world's full of people who quit on themselves. People who let doubt win. People who settled because they didn't think they had what it takes. Don't be one of them. You're not here to be ordinary. You're not here to fade out. You're here to fight, to grind, to rise. And you can't do that without believing in yourself. Relentlessly, stubbornly, every single day. So go out there and prove it. Not to me, not to anybody else, to you. That's what greatness is. That's what you've got in you. Now go get it.